Hi. Okay. I legit should have taken these a bit ago. Give me a moment. Icky. I hate it going down my throat. It's icky. How's everyone doing? Ow. I need to load the file because I was playing by my onesies. That's true. Okay, so. Who wants to pick what we do first? I like to also state there is one behind me as well. It's called Reflection. The boating one. Filling puzzles are fun. Rose's boat. So we can do that one first. Who wants to pick the second one? Because we're gonna do a couple of them. Because I wanna, as much as I love the game, I want to get it over and done with before um a certain time, so I can focus on stuff. You perched on the kitchen island, wheeling away the minutes until your sister joined you downstairs. There's quite an adventure planned today. Lee was coming down near the Sunset Bird area as part of what she called a little trip. Finally, she thought how nice it would be to go on a pirate boat trip this summer to celebrate graduation and everything. What might have been an ideal dream for most people turned to reality in Lee's hands. You've been invited along for the ride by your best cousin. Eagerly anticipating it. It wasn't every day that you got to ride on a proper boat, let alone a private one. You're excited to get out on the water and see the ocean from a fresh angle. You weren't the only one who was heading out on a trip. Liz was coming, of course. Your moms had been invited but hadn't been able to find the time to squeeze it in, and so the trip would only involve the kids of the family, a term that had stuck, despite all three of you being adults now. Mom would have joked about cramping your style, but there was apparently plenty of room on the ship. They had been more than happy for you and Liz to bring other friends along if you wanted. But the trip out to Sunset Bird, though even up further out to where Lee and the boat would be, just wasn't feasible for most people. Not many folk lived close by. There was naturally one person around who would always be there for the ride, Cove. You were just about to meet up with him outside. Lee had been glad when you told her he'd be able to come along today. Just as you were thinking about your cousin and your plans for the day ahead, your phone sprang to life. Glancing at the display, you saw the incoming call was from Lee herself. You answered it without pause. Hey. Hey. She drove straight into the topic, the trip meetup. You could hear the thrill of excitement in her voice. I'm here now and everything is all set. All you gotta do is show up and we'll be off. Woo! She spoke quickly, animated by anticipation. Hooray! You echoed her enthusiasm. Great, can't wait to see you. Liz and Cove are definitely still on board too, right? Yep. Wonderful. There's still a bit of time before you're due to set off. Is there anyone you want to extend a last minute invite to? No need to keep the guest list sparse now. It's not like we'll be bumping into anyone else to join in when we're out in the middle of the ocean. Well, there's a new guy around. I think you might like him. Your face burning, even hinting at Baxter. You had actually been looking for an opportunity to fill Lee in on what happened after the particular neighbor waltzed into your life. With her on a trip overseas at the time, it had been pretty much impossible to arrange a call at a time that worked for both of you. Busy schedules, not to mention time zone differences, had meant that communication between you had been text only for a while. Something as big as that couldn't be squeezed into an email, but it wasn't like you wanted to keep it a secret. While you thought back on all of this, the conversation lapsed into silence. Leah noticed the meaningful pause. Beanie, well, is that exactly just when you guys dating? Oh, what? You winced involuntarily as the exclamation pierced your ears. Should have expected a reaction like that. You held the phone away from your ear as Lee screeched from the other end of the line. When she finally began to simmer down, you tentatively brought it back to your head, poised to retreat again if necessary. You're dating a person I have never even met. How? Things just happen, you know. Baxter's not a subtle man. His name is Baxter. Ooh, sounds mature. Honestly, I'm dying to hear every last tiny detail, but we don't have time for that right this sec. So leave it there for now. Yes, Lee. That's what I thought. I'll let you go. I have to see if I want to see you here in the flesh. She uttered the last words dramatically, making them sound more like a threat than a statement. Laughing, you shook your head. Lee chuckled along down the phone. Bye, Lee. Bye. Now that your attention was free, you looked over to the stairs to see if Liz had emerged yet. But there is still no sign of her. You figured you might as well go on and see if Cove was ready in the meantime, since you needed to stop by Baxter's place to invite him along. Liz would catch up, you were sure. Sent her a text and updated plan. Grabbed your phone one more time to let her know where you'd gone. With that, you hopped off the chair and headed out the door. A sunny day greeted you, shielding your eyes with a hand. You admired the sky. It looked like good weather for heading out on the water. That was something. Your name called, and automatically Cove was the source of the call. He was sitting halfway between his own house and yours. You looked at you as he walked over. Take a step in his direction. He'll smile at you as he covered the rest of the short distance. Hi. Hey, Cove. Ready to go? Cove nodded easily, blinking languidly in the sunlight. Glanced away, chewing his lip with consideration. Is it really okay for me to come? Of course. You don't even have to ask, right? Cove rubbed the back of his neck, frowning as if trying to work out for himself. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, this is a really ritzy trip, and Lee's your cousin, not mine. I mean, the two of us, me and Lee are friends, maybe, but it's not like we've ever hung out on our own. I'm kind of worried I'm gonna be out of place. There's no way you'd be left out, Cove. And that's thanks to you. His voice was affectionate, with particular emphasis on the final U, like it was the star of the collection. Cove made a small smile. The worry hadn't lifted from his rigid shoulders, but you could tell that he was attempting to project a little more confidence. I'm gonna go, don't worry. Good. You're satisfied that, and I meant to tell you, I'm gonna be inviting Baxter too. I've got to check if he's in now before we run out of time. Huh? Really? Cove was done. He hadn't been prepared for any extra surprises. Shook it off, however. Alright. Something like this isn't already gonna be awkward for me. He was joking. Mostly. I'll wait for you here. Okay, Cove. I'll see you in a bit. You strolled over to the condo Baxter was staying in and rang the doorbell. You recalled the last time you had been at Baxter's place, but before memories could claim you, the door slid open. Baxter looked out, his head tilted in interest. Beanie, what a nice surprise. Folded his arms over his chest, leaning casually against the doorframe. There's something I can do for you? We're taking a boat trip right now. Are you on board? His expression went only briefly before resting back into his usual languorous expression. It was either an impressive show of restraint or Baxter's life involved more impromptu road trips than yours. Perhaps both. I'd love to. So you didn't have plans ready. That's great. To your surprise, Baxter's mouth curled into a little smirk. My schedule is always open for improv itinerary. I'm flexible, remember? Oh, He was not only agreeing to come on the trip, but apparently canceling some other plan in order to make it happen. Baxter was certainly something. Thanks for keeping me in mind. I think this is going to be fun. He slipped outside after securing the door behind him. He swept out an arm and indicated for you to lead the way. The first stop was Select Cove. He was waiting as promised where you left him. Cove, good to see you. Hi. There was still no sign of Liz. He took the opportunity to bring Baxter up to date on the plan for the day. He took in your words with interest. Only a minute or two more passed before the door to your house finally opened. Liz framed within it like a portrait. Unlike you, she had no need to shield her eyes with a hand in order to protect them from the sun's bright rays, as her hat was performing the job admirably. Spotting you, she headed straight over. She smiled warmly at you and Cove as she approached. Her attention then promptly turned to the group's new addition. We meet again, monochrome man. His eyes closed as he bowed his head and nodded ever so slightly. Always good to see you. Living in the same street had given Liz and Baxter the opportunity to interact over the course of the summer. Though she mostly knew him through you anticipated that she wouldn't object to him tagging along on the trip. I asked him to come on the boat ride. Of course he did. I feel like you and Lee would become fast friends, Baxter. You lacked having thought the same thing yourself. Baxter smiled politely. With that, your little group piled into the car. It had been decided in advance that you'd all be heading over in Cove's car. Then you set off for the journey down the coast to where you'd be meeting Lee. You wandered down the California shoreline with sparkling ocean waters on one side and craggy cliffs on the other. The world blurred by until eventually you made it safely to the large harbor. It was a far grander scale than the one near Mr. Holden's shop. Boats 2, 3, even 5 times larger could fit. Liz took charge from there, calling up your cousin to guide you the rest of the way. Lee did her best to explain where precisely the boat was docked. Given that she was doing it without seeing where you were, and that it was an area she was only slightly familiar with herself, she did a pretty good job. It took a bit of fumbling, a little retracing of steps, as your cousin and your sister had different definitions of orange. That was rusty brown, Liz had protested. But before too long, you heard her voice calling you, not from the phone in Liz's inn, but over the wind rolling off the ocean. Searching for the source of the sound, you found her on the prow of a ship I can read. Jumping into the air and waving frantically for your attention, you'd arrived. Lee dashed from the bow over to the gangway, where you boarded one by one. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you got here okay. You could tell, even if she said nothing, her bright grin as she saw you all spoke loud and clear. Hi, Lee. You gave her a full-on hug. You wrapped both arms around her and pulled her tight against your chest. Squealing, Lee returned the hug just as tightly. After greeting you, Lee turned to look over the faces of the others to be joining you on your ocean voyage. I just hit my pick. Her attention was immediately pulled to the only one in the group that she'd not met before. Grinning, she approached Baxter. So this is him. Well, not what I was expecting, but I can see it. I take it you're aware of my position in your cousin's life. Naturally, nice to meet you and welcome aboard. With that, she glanced over at the others. Lee, thanks again for taking us on this lovely trip. Cove hovered awkwardly behind you and your sister. Even with Liz's broad sun hat, he was too tall and the group too small to hide effectively. Made fleeting eye contact with Lee, then looked away. Hi, thank you for letting me come. The boat is cool. He chuckled nervously. He smiled and entertained by his bumbling phrasing. Hi, Cove. She giggled as she spoke, unable to hide her amusement. Cove lowered his head. Pat his arm reassuringly. Phil's little game of hide and seek is pretty funny. Phil smiled weakly at you, his face flushed. You could tell that he appreciated your show of support, but was still embarrassed about needing the help. The floor seemed to give beneath you as Lee whooped with delight. He realized that the ship had pulled out into the water. You'd been so steady while it was more that you temporarily forgot you weren't on solid ground. Now as the boat rocked beneath your feet, there was no doubt you were truly setting sail. The lure dissipated into chatter or headed over to the railings to watch the ocean. You were ruffled by the breeze, which seemed stronger out on the water than it was back on the shore. The floor continued to rise and fall, reminding you of standing in a bouncy house while the others jumped. It was refreshing. As you let your surroundings truly sink in, you thought today was shaping up to be memorable. You were glad that you'd been able to join Lee on this trip. We can really get the party started now. Oh, wonderful. What did you have in mind? Well, we're down in the areas your cousin saw. It was clear that she didn't have something immediately in mind. Cove's eyes sparkled as he piped up. Can we get out of the boat, like go swimming around in the deep ocean? Sometimes he swore that boy was part merman. The way he was continuously drawn to the water, but Liz immediately fought the suggestion. No. Jen left no room for debate. Baxter chuckled, combing a hand through his hair. I prefer to stay on board too. Sorry, it's not that kind of boat trip. It isn't supposed to stop anywhere. If someone did end up off in the water, the captain would call the Coast Guard on us. Ghost's shoulders slumped at the resounding objection. All right. Give me one moment. Okay. We'll still find something fun to do, Cove. Truthfully, there isn't much we can do on the boat that we couldn't technically do on. Not to take trips with my father on our boat. He always spends the time deep fishing. I'm not much of a fisherman personally. Activities that could also be done while not on a boat sound exciting to me. This might bolstered by Baxter's support, at least by Lanham. Oh, my dad also takes me fishing sometimes, though we do it on the docks by Dad's shelf. I'm not good at it either. Baxter snickered, his expression warm as he looked at Cove, appreciated the delicate attempt to relate, especially with how standoffish Cove normally was with him. That's the fate of sons with their dads, apparently. How lucky we won't be doing that now. Yep. Liz nodded. There's nothing wrong with some non-musical themed activities. We could play a party game for all I care. Yeah, we'll do a party game. We saw her brow furrowed just for a moment as she mentally conjured possibilities. Then Smoodad as one came to mind. Ooh, oh, what about the one where something is written down and people give clues? One person has to guess what it is. Sure, I said to play a party game and I stand by it. Who's guessing first? Rock, paper, scissors decide? The others blinked at you as you made your suggestion. Liz's expression was skeptical. And how would you decide to take turns for that? Game that is originally to decide who's taking the first turn in the game, or you originally decided to play. Lee snickered, batting a hand in the air to brush away the minor details. Don't be like, we'll make it work. It's a good idea. More games equal more fun. Together you agreed in order to go in for this set of games, and the mini competition was on, with Lee and Liz facing each other in the first round. Liz was triumphant in that first game. The next challenger was Baxter. He and Liz went up against each other, and Baxter emerged victorious. Now he's waiting to see who to go against in the next round. Meanwhile, you're gearing up for a round against Cove. The winner will be Baxter's opponent. Cove stared at you with narrowed eyes. The minigame might only be a bit of meaningless fun, but Cove meant business. You took your position facing each other as the others watched on. His hand curled into a fist just as Cove did the same. On 3. Cove frowned, focusing intently on your hand as if you might predict what shape it would make. 1, 2, 3. You picked. I don't know, rock? At the call of 3, Cove's pointer and middle finger sprung free of his fist. He chosen scissors. Beanie wins. Cove slumped his shoulders, accepting defeat. You had gotten the better of him that day. His spotting session ended abruptly with a shake of his head as he refocused on what was ahead. Cove slowly glanced over at the monochrome newcomer, then he met your eyes with complete seriousness. You can beat him. He laughed. Cove was so invested, and it was hilarious. Baxter watched your exchange with Cove and waited until an appropriate moment to approach you. His smile curled. Good luck. Good luck to you, too. Smile grew wider as you both raised your hands for the final game. The countdown began, and... scissors. And Baxter crushed her with a rock. It was over. Cove's face fell right into his hand at the call of Baxter's triumph. Baxter merely shrugged with faint indifference. Well, that's nice. I won. Who would have known? Cove, still pouting, lifted his face just enough to peek at Baxter. Good job. So he could see the win, even if it was sour about it. That made Baxter's grin return. It's a good game. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Beanie. Lee shot Baxter an impressed thumbs up as Liz chuckled into sleep. The agile game hasn't even started and people are already getting like this. Sporting Link was aimed at Cove, who was still recovering from the shame of defeat, put himself together completely after that. Hey, you got rusty with your party game skills, Beanie. Liz lightly slapped his shoulder for that comment. He chuckled unoffensively. To his grin, Lee picked up a pen and notepad from the bar counter. She twirled the calligraphy pen with her fingers. Lee clarified the rules that Cove raised a wavy eyebrow. Random words will be written down and folded up to give to another player. When it was someone's turn to be a guesser, they would show everyone else the word but couldn't look at it themselves. The other players had to help the guesser figure out what the word was without saying it directly. Each person was allowed to say only one clue. After all the hints were given, then the guesser would have to decide. They gave each guest at the mini party a piece of paper from her notepad. It was surprisingly thick lined paper with a little starfish printed at the bottom. She scrunched around to find more writing implements. She managed to dig up a short pencil with an old jelly grip on it, a ballpoint pen with a logo you didn't recognize, and a purple crayon. Max had a nice pen with him already, so he respectfully passed on Lee's offer. Sure to you. Here, pick one. Purple crown. Of course. You pulled the crown from the fanned assortments of options Lee had presented to you. The crown was a lot thicker than what you were used to. It smelled like kindergarten with a hint of those restaurants that used to give crowns to their kids' menu. After the random selection of words were determined and the papers were passed around, it was time to start. I guess we know who's going now. Max fished his paper out from his ripped hands back and presented it to the group. Lobby handwriting spelled out the word slide. Oh, kids like it. It's for kids. Kids. Lee bounced enthusiastically, holding out a hand to indicate the short height of children. Baxter nodded slowly. The playgrounds, but really small ones usually. The playground around our neighborhood doesn't have it, if you've been there. He shook his head, still perplexed. Unfortunately, I'm not. Dang. You've been to playgrounds before, though, right? Baxter had to pause to think on it. He shrugged. My elementary school, it did have races, but we had sports fields more than traditional playgrounds. For some reason, it's hard to picture you as a little kid. Well, I'd rather you not imagine that, so it all works out. Phil placed a finger on his cheek as he puzzled out the game's conundrum. Tapped his face absentmindedly. Slippery, you can't really walk on it? Slippery? Every little clue lost Baxter even more. He had no idea what the word could be. Baxter, do you know how to do the cha-cha slide? Oh, slide? That's it, slide. Baxter's floundering confidence returned full force with a broad grin. I got it. He flipped the paper over and traced his fingers across the word. He smirked at it. Thank you very much for the tip. It's always dance. He knows dance. Liz patted you on the arm with approval. Nice one. You had the magic approach that time. You unfold the paper given to you, careful not to peek while you showed everyone. Liz leaned in closely with thought helm. As soon as Lee had a chance to read the word, she jumped up. Dog! There's a popular type of dog sometimes called that. It's where scientists do experiments and stuff. Sometimes it's a secret location. Liz gave Cove an edged look. She probably thought it would confuse you. It could be used for photos as well. Lab. That's it. You got it. Yeah, you nailed it. Everyone cheered. Liz gave you a round of applause. He looked at the paper and a neat, tiny writing. He saw the word lab printed. Whoop. You read through that you got it. The round was a total victory. We should definitely keep this ball rolling. Phil flipped open his paper and showed it to the crowd. He kept his hand at the back of the note so he couldn't see the word, even if light shone through it. Blacky wobbly text, you read the word potatoes. You pursed your lips together as you thought what you could say. Pathetic. Liz turned her head with an incredulous expression while Lee continued her thoughts. She jumped up, pointing right at the paper Cove had in his hands. He put them in a sack. Cove blinked at Lee, deeply confused. Lee smiled back, full of confidence that he would come to understand eventually. Is the major vegetable you using croquettes? I don't know what that is. Really? Baxter's earnestly taken back, as if Cove had just said he never had toast before. Maybe we should change that. There has to be somewhere in this town that serves them, right? Liz cleared her throat, saving Cove from having to respond beyond his frown. It's that Mr. Toy, with different faces and things. Phil tilted his head, utterly baffled at the different directions that everyone had taken. What's a Mr. Toy? Liz simply shook her head at the lack of understanding. It was your turn to try. Ma loves them smashed. Ma thinks they're bland. Felt confident you remember what that meant. Potatoes. Or singular potato? You're right, yeah. Cove repeated again with a bright, beaming grin. Potatoes. He held his hand up for you to celebrate. High five. Smacked his hand. Slapped his hand with that satisfying smack. He nodded, still looking ecstatic. Thanks for the hint. I don't think I would have gotten it without that. You're welcome. Congrats. Now let's go again. Suddenly the boat tipped forward before rocking back harshly. The ship must have gone over a bigger than usual reef. Ship phone. Liz held onto her hat desperately. Lee laughed at her immediate death grip. You never know what'll happen on the high seas. Oh, watch out, Liz. You won't lose. Such a nice topper. You and Lee chuckled together while Liz stuck up her nose. However, your sister was now smiling and her hold had slackened. The game continued with Liz and Lee taking their turns. It was such a good time that y'all decided to play a few more games. Liz turned out to be the best guesser, although that could have been because you knew her well enough to give her relevant hints. Lee had to stop herself from answering on the first clue she was given, but no one really minded. All in all, everyone was glad that Lee had suggested the game. Oh, Lee shot you a grin. Why don't we have some drinks? There's bar on the ship. Gil tipped his head in disbelief. Lee continued. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff behind the counter. I bet one could make whatever they can think of. That sounds like an interesting challenge. There's a lot of different juices and stuff. I think I've even seen strawberry puree and pineapple. Carrot juice sounds intriguing.
Goddamn fucking damn bitch. Fucking doing shit.
So, Dorian, about last night.
Discretion isn't your thing, is it?
There it is.
3 times!
There it
Also,
is.
do you want those silky underthings back, or did you leave those like a token? Or, wait, did you forget them so you'd have an excuse to come back, you sly dog?
If you choose to leave your door unlocked like a savage, I may or may not come.
Speak for yourself.
And scene.
Hey, I wonder how my audio sounds. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm kind of recording and streaming at the moment. Over YouTube.
You
Let's
sound
get
normal.
jungle. Yeah. Discounts. Yeah, those discounts don't even matter. The vehicles are still expensive as hell anyway.
Why won't it let me join your fucking game?
I can't. No. I can't with this hip.
Technically, she's the original, technically.
Yeah, that's why I said the 2.0. You see, the classics are nice, but you know, I like. I'm digging myself such a big fucking hole.
Can I clip that, please? I need a clip.
No, I cannot put lol. I should not put lol just because they took my color and then died. get you to stop crying was put the sunglasses on you. I try to go a bit deeper. But whenever we try to take them off, you start crying again. Yep. You spent the first 2 years of your life.
I tamed a clown.
How do you feel?
I feel disgusted with myself. We're playing in his gas right now. That sounds terrible.
Ow!
Give him your item. Give him your item.
Yeah? Yeah, okay. Well, there's that. As a just in case. Let me get this unhooked and I will be happy for the rest of the game. To the lobby. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you.
Oh, they keep threatening me. Saddening. Do I have to like? Ooh, that's a death sentence. If I've ever seen one. Whoa! Oh my god, that was funny. Alright. Check to make sure everything is good. Healing. Healing. Healing.
Said that you wanted to, quote, pin my voice against the wall and run your tongue along its collarbone.
What?
There's a context there that you were talking about quantum entanglement, and I didn't know you were an AI. Anyway, I was just joking. You know, stress of the retrofits and...
Really? My diagnostics suggested that you were genuinely aroused.
You have diagnostics. Cerberus programmed you to check body language.
I get more...
I'm gonna get ready to clip it. Just because Crow's not here, I will do it. Meow. I'm slowly dying now because I did that. That did not sound like a cat.
don't know how I feel about that.
No pop.
Maybe it's just not into sexy goth girls or queenie beanies.
Maybe not.
I'm into both. What does that give me?
20 points?
Oh yeah.
He's coming. He's right over there. Sir. Sir.
Yes, I'm motherfucking sure, you bitch.
This is your quest, isn't it?
Yeah, but I keep crashing every time I load in. Or I try and go through.
Why? What the hell is going on?
I don't know. All I know now is being spies are now Coates' property.
I have to ask, where did that even come from?
Okay, I am back. Sorry. Mom Ben's looking downstairs and she was like, you know what I'm craving right now? And she is to start talking food. So I was like, okay, let me go order this. Because now I'm getting hungry. Oh. Thank you. Open the message. There's lots of different juices and stuff. I think even seeing strawberry puree and pineapple, the carrot juice sounds intriguing. So it's a juice bar. Yeah. Liz laughed and tapped Lee on the shoulder. You just said barley. I think you gave the wrong idea. Whoops. Sorry for the disappointment. Cove, no alcohol is provided by the ship. That's probably required considering the group they've got today. I'm not disappointed by that. I didn't want to get drunk on a ship. I'm a little disappointed. Lee brushed past the misunderstanding as though it hadn't even happened. I was thinking we could mix them up and get something special. Anyone interested? Gil thought about it intrigued. Liz smirked, recognizing the potential for chaos. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. It'll be a dream, trust me. So, who wants to make drinks? What? It was your idea. Why don't you do it? I've mixed drinks before. If anyone else wants to try, this will be a great chance. I'm a gracious hostess. I want to make the drinks. Cool. You gotta create something wonderful. I just know it. He wondered if you ought to ask for requests, but Lee hustled you off to the non-alcoholic bar. Anyone else followed. Lee gave a brief tour of selection in various compartments before she went back to the tables. She saw a final message over her shoulder. Make sure there's enough for everyone. She waved and then you were left alone with the juice. There was a fridge packed with cartons and various glass bottles of juice. Lee had placed a pitcher on the counter for you to mix things into. Stared at the options, trying to see just what you had to work with. There are a lot of choices. You reached into the fridge to take out some juice. You grabbed... mango. Strawberry. Yes, baby? You little mew. You mew a little. And... your juice done, he set out some glasses and poured out some for everyone. Hey, it's done. The group got up from the lounge chairs they had been sitting on and came to fetch their drinks. Everyone picked up a glass and took a sip. That's good that she took long swig of juice. She smiled. That's kind of odd, but really in a good way. I agree. It's some nice work. Yeah. He nodded as he took another slow sip. It's refreshing. The religious experiment was a good time, as far as you were concerned. Constantly, you all stood close together, some still holding their juice cups. Lisa skinned the group. She giggled. This is so much nicer than having to rely on regular phone calls to catch up, right? Granted, correspondent, Lee's eyes widened. The corner of your mouth built into a amused smile. Not that I don't enjoy our chats from afar, it's just we're financially beating it together. We understand, and yes, this is a fantastic little party. Happy graduation, Lee, Beanie and Co. That was followed by more cheers in celebration of your high school careers coming to an end. Lee even lifted her glass to toast to it. When it settled down, your older sister had one more comment to add. And no one even had to fight over who could seize the home phone. We threw her head back in thunderous laughter. The smile widened on your face. I remember it. All the times that Elizabeth here was trying to push me into being less Gabby. She needed me to just stop so she could call her other friends instead. Hey, many teens have too cool for family phases. Yeah, likely it's all A-okay. I forgive Liz for being a teenager. That got a hearty laugh out of Liz. You got a quiet snicker out of Cove, too. At least Beanie kept me up to date on what was happening in Sunset for those difficult days. I never knew what wild thing you were going to fill me in on next. Hey, I had to tell someone what was happening day to day with these people. Liz and Cove shot you an odd look. They were both trying to sift through their memories for what other things he must have told Lee. You can help but laugh. It definitely is always fun to stay in the neighborhood. Let me drink the rest of her juice down to the very last drop. She made her way to the table over by Cove and set her cup down. Agilely, Cove watched Lee as his mouth pulled into a lopsided smile. Making these juice concoctions remind me a lot of that smoothie business down at the mall. The one that lets you pick all the fruit that goes into it. It was a good place. Yeah, it was the best. Exactly what I was chilling when I came up with this idea. Glad you caught that finally. Sorry, I could take a while to get things sometimes. Y'all know that. Too true. It's all good. You're sharp when you want to be. Cove studied you for a moment like he wasn't sure if he should take that as a compliment or not, but ultimately he settled on a smile. So, Cove. She leaned towards him with a devilish grin. Do you saw that wind chime Beanie totally got for you? Cove brushed off her teasing and gave her a self-satisfied look, already knowing the answer. You could feel the tips of your ears redden. Of course I do. The wind broke with soundless, quiet laugh. That was all it took to get Lee laughing, and soon all of you were soaking up the mirth of the moment too. Though all sighed we shouldn't leave Baxter out of the loop either. Evan followed her lead and turned towards the guests for the summer. His expression softened as he shrugged one shoulder. Well, it's true I wasn't here for those stories. I do enjoy hearing about them. It's nice to only listen sometimes. Cool. Really mature. Thank you. Okay, traveled from Lee to Liz and then over to you. He sighed. My cousins aren't nearly as close in age as you are. And as an only child, I'm curious what kind of relationship is like. Oh, I'm with you there. Only child solidarity. Lee nodded friendly to Baxter, then shot Cove a serious look. He crossed his arms. Alright, only child solidarity. A dirty smile lit up Baxter's face. They clapped their hands together, pleased at the united front created. She had the same wavelength, you and Liz turned your faces to one another look. Not breaking eye contact, she reached over and put a hand on top of your head. That's wonderful, you three. I'll keep feeding things. Your siblings' stare shattered into laughter. The others joined in as well. The hours were spent chatting away, sharing stories and favorite memories as the boat drifted out to sea. As time slipped by, the sun hanging low in the sky signaled that it was time to set sail back to the harbor. The more boisterous atmosphere from earlier had settled into a blanket of comfortable relaxation. Liz and Lee were absorbed in conversation, lounging around on the deck couch. Baxter sat across from them, nodding along, and every now and then you could hear laughter coming from the three of them. There were always smiles. Taking a deep breath of sea air, you could sigh contentedly. Go sit by your side in the center of the deck. When you were ready, you looked back to the deck and the faces of everyone you spent the afternoon with. You never wanted to forget that view. Then, looking out at the wide open ocean, you committed every bit of moment to memory. Carly thought to yourself, today had certainly been an adventure. Hi. Come here. Hello. Sorry, I'm talking to my cat. She jumped up in front of me and is now stepping all over my keyboard. Are you good? Are you gonna walk back across it? She just wanted my hair tie. That's all she wanted. I That actually wasn't that long, like I thought it would be. I am excited for it. I can't wait. I'm debating. Okay. So my food is gonna get here. And if I start another one, I'm not gonna be able to eat until after it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to send you all to someone. And then since I'm done eating, I'll stream again. And when I stream again, I'll probably play something else. Most likely my time at I'm gonna say Portia because I kind of want to see if I am close to the end of that game. Don't know if I am or not. But I will be back after. I want to eat. I have yet to eat today. And I should go eat. Let's raid out to Arrow, who is live playing. I don't know what that game is. Cyhate Station? Okay. But I shall see you all after I'm done eating.